pasarla. Mamacita, vámonos de fiesta. Y ahora en mi corazón tú estás. Y ya no quiero a nadie más. Contigo que quiero pasarla. Mamacita, vámonos de fiesta. Desde que te vi, buscaba una así. Desde que te vi, buscaba una así. Y por fin te conseguí. Desde que te vi, yo me enloquecí. Buscaba una así y por fin te conseguí.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Hi. Hello. Happy, I don't know, what day is it now? It's, Wednesday, I believe. I don't know. I've lost track. Hello. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Hello. Happy Wednesday. Um, we got some stuff to talk about. Let me see who's here. I'm gonna move my, there we go. Okay. Let me see who's here. Who do we got here? We got, Diego. Hello, Diego. We got Mithril. Hello, Mithril. And Tiago. Hello, Tiago. Okay. Well, those are the only comments we have. So, hello, folks. I am. I understand Weirdomorphous Blob. Hello, Weirdomorphous Blob. Glad to see you here. Okay. So we have a few things to talk about today. I am almost better from being ill. I'm still a little bit ill, but not as much as I was yesterday or the day before. So I will try to. Hopefully, I'll be okay to do today. Okay. All alone. Hello, Meowzord. Okay. Hello, Meowzord. Um, so, uh, I will, so we have a few things to talk about today. Um, First thing is we're going to do a little bit of a thought experiment, kind of. And then I have some things I wanted to react to, some videos for us to watch and sort of react to. One sent to us from Tiago about Tylenol. And among some other things. Okay. I don't know. I'm having trouble thinking at the moment, but we have some other things to do too. Okay. Before we get to that, we have a 10 super chat goal here. If we get one super chat, Jester hat, 3 Jester collar, 5 Q&A, and if we get to 10 or $50, we'll do a Jester After Dark stream. Jester After Dark stream later. Okay. So that is our current goal for this stream would be to get to 10 so we can do the Jester After Dark stream. And if we what else is there? If you like the content, you can subscribe for as little you can become a member for as little as 99 cents a month and get access to a cute little Jester hat emoji. Whether it be subscribing on Twitch or becoming a member on YouTube. If you're over on Twitch, if you can subscribe for free using your Amazon Prime subscription, free monthly subscription, so you can send me some of Jeff Bezos's dollars, and please follow if you haven't already over on Twitch, and subscribe if you're over here on YouTube and you haven't subscribed yet. Okay, and if you subscribe, you'll be able to start commenting in the chat. Excuse me, which is what we do here. It's like a teaching classroom. Okay. How's everyone doing out there? Everyone good? Normally, I like to give a few minutes chatting with people at the beginning to give people a chance to get in here. So I'll wait a couple more minutes. How's everyone doing? Everyone doing well out there? I'm drinking some delicious Earl Grey tea. Um, everyone good out there? I know it's a Wednesday. Maybe so no, I typically get less folks coming in here on Wednesdays. Oh yeah, please like the stream too if you haven't already. It'll help get more folks in here. Okay. I did what I could do real fast while we wait for like one more minute now. Is I thought I had something I could show all of you. Let me see if I can find it real fast. Oh, where did I put this thing? Give me a second. I'll find it. I got a nice little show and tell. So, after 9/11, my dad and I started collecting all the newspapers. We even collected the newspaper from 9/11, the day of 9/11. Um, so we have a bunch of newspapers of like events that occurred, obviously. Historically, we even have a copy of a newspaper from the day the Titanic sunk. Okay. Um, okay. But here we have um, we got this. Okay. This is a copy of the Columbus Dispatch. This, I believe, is from 2 days after 9/11. And it's super interesting to me because, if you read this thing, you can already see the anger building. You can see a lot of the demonization of certain minority groups beginning. But I thought I had grabbed the one from a 9/11, but super interesting to look back at old newspapers and kind of see what um, uh, what the idea was at the time when these things happened. And it's funny, really strange to see names like Rudy Giuliani in here. You can imagine, and being talked about positively. Anyway, I just thought it was super interesting. Yeah. And look at this one. Why do people hate America enough to kill? Like you see that here. Why do people hate America enough to kill? Hmm. And I'm curious to see. Okay. It literally goes on to say. Basically goes on to say that they hate us because they hate us. Because they don't like our freedom. I'm not even joking. It says here. Um. Uh. Yeah, literally basically just says that it's because they hate us. Jealousy is one thing it says. I'd have to open it up to find the rest of it, but there you go. Okay. I'll read some. Okay, how about that? How about I read some for you? Okay. How about I read some for well, a lot of folk God, I even just realized that there are a lot of folks now in here, or more people came in here. Fantastic. Let's see what it says, folks. I need to find the A2. Let's find A2 for anyone who even knows how to read these things anymore. Here we go. Let's read it. Because most people don't do newspapers like this anymore. I have okay. It says here, um, this week's carnage to return hate imagery, thus making revenge easier. Okay. In the face of inexplicable hatred leading to unfathomable evil, the world is showing us it depends on America and cherishes what the nation symbolizes: freedom, equality, opportunity, ingenuity. Um, America is loved by most and hated by some. The zealots who hate us are not representative of the Islamic world. Oh, wow, that's weirdly woke of them. Um, the Islamic rock world, they are representative of an extreme minority. Still, the existence of deep-seated hatred for the United States hit home Tuesday. And before, I don't want to hurt it. I'm trying to be careful so I don't hurt the newspaper. Uh, let's see here. Uh, and before Americans can deal with it, they must understand it. Um, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, Weirdly enough, folks, okay, I'm actually surprised. So the beginning was pretty bad, but then it goes on to say, this is okay. Admittedly, I'm shocked. It goes on to say, she and other experts said Americans' allegiance with Israel since World War II and a sense of American dominance over other nations since the end of the Cold War have fueled resentment. John Quigley, a Ohio State University law professor who was writing a book about the Middle East, said many Arabs, particularly those living in the West Bank, resent the United States for supporting Israel. Okay, okay, that's something. That's something. Okay, these people have been hit by US-made weapons for some time, Quigley said. When they saw there was an attack on the United States, they saw it as an attack on the people who help kill them every day. Okay. All right. Okay, John Quigley. All right. Yep. So it basically just goes on to talk about that. Um, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't and then it basically goes on to explain more of it. You're Alyssa? Okay, I admit I had such low expectations for the rest of that article. I was wrong, okay? Admittedly though, folks, the beginning of the article was saying that. But okay. I had never really opened it up all the way because I didn't want to damage the newspaper. All right, fine, Alyssa, you were right. Okay, whatever. Okay, so anyway, so there's a little show and tell for you, little show and tell. Um, though that was sort of a local newspaper, I'm sure the national ones probably said something a bit different. I was gonna write it off. You're right, Alyssa. How dare I? Okay, anyway, let's see here. For those who let me see who has arrived now. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I've missed so many people that have arrived now. Yeah, right, weird amorphous blob, yeah. And it's interesting that they chose the inexplicable part on the first page, and then I had to go and search for the rest of it. Who else is here? We got, Marky. Hello, Marky. Mithril. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Mithril. Okay, Tiago, okay, I said hello to Tiago. Hello, Toy Toya, okay, Lee Lane. Hello, Lee Lane. Uh see here. J-Mac, hello, J-Mac. Weird amorphous blob. Dubois. Okay, pizza. Demosthenes. Okay. I should read your initial entrance, J-Mac. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure I'll love it. Whatever it may be, J-Mac. I'm sure it won't be something. All hail Supreme Daddy leader. Hey, I support that. I support that. Yes, bow to Daddy. Okay. Okay. Um, all right, SoCal, very good. Okay, hello, SoCal. Yeah, I'm sure it was Alan. Um, oh, so J-Mac, I was reading an article from 2 days after 9/11. Okay. Uh, all right, guys. So this is great. Hello, James Nordhoff. Okay. So there are some things to talk about. I was trying to give myself some more time to let more people get in here by reading a little bit of that, and then Alyssa humiliated me. So we shall go on now and let's go on to the thing I wanted to talk about, okay? Um as I said previously, all right? If we get 1 super chat, I'll put on the jester hat. 3, I'll put on the jester collar. 5, we'll do a Q&A, and if we get to 10 or $50, I will do a jester after dark stream tonight, okay? Yep. Yeah, J-Mac. That Sikh man who was killed 4 days after because some idiot thought he was a Muslim in his cab. Yep. Pretty terrifying time. Um, okay. Uh, all right. Let's go on to this little presentation I have here for you. I have a presentation for you, and then I have some videos I wanted to watch with you and talk about with you. So okay. We're gonna talk about something, and we're there's it's gonna be weird. Well, what else is new, right? Everything I do is weird. Uh this is Alex. Okay, I'm gonna be telling you a little story about a person. It's not a real person. It could be a man or a woman. It's Alex. Okay, their name is Alex. Okay, I tried to choose a gender neutral name there. Okay, it could be male Alex, could be female Alex, could be non-binary Alex. We don't know. Okay, and while we're doing this, I want you to think about the ways in which our society and our culture talks about people. We're a very individualistic culture. Our culture tends to be very judgmental of different people and blame people for not making the right decisions and things like that. Right? Okay. So, but we need to be good at having what's called a sociological imagination, putting people's behavior in the context of the society in which they live and the pressures on them to act in certain ways in that society. So I'm going to tell you a story. There are no pictures, I'm sorry to say. But I just want you to listen to the story and let's talk about it. And I think it'll spark a lot of conversations. Okay. And we're going to practice using our sociological imaginations. And by the way, I made this story using a ton of real life statistics. So anything I include in here has a basis in statistical reality. Okay. And I even sometimes will quote those statistics. All right. Alex. So let's talk about our good friend Alex, right? Uh, Alex wakes up. There you go, Marky. Okay. Alex wakes up at 5:30 a.m. Monday through Friday. Okay. Alex has to work. Um, Alex has to work. Okay. So Alex has to get up at Trump failed. Thank you for the super chat. Where do I send videos for reactions? Haven't finished my new one yet. Still needs to hit 165. That's no problem, Trump failed. Go to our Discord channel, which is pinned at the top of the chat, and you can put it in the Reacts channel. Okay, thank you very much. The reaction channel. In Trump failed. Thank you. I'll put on the hat. Okay. Um, Now, folks, it is possible. It is possible. Thank you, Trump failed. I'd love to see the video you sent. Okay. It is possible that Alex wakes up at 6:30 or 7:30. But a lot yeah, right, J-Mac, okay. But I'll tell you what, a lot of folks wake up about 2 hours before they have to be at work because they have a lot to do in the meantime and they have a long commute. Okay? So Alex wakes up at 5:30 a.m. Monday through Friday. In theory, at least Alex is supposed to, right? Alex takes a shower, puts on uncomfortable clothing. They're not clothing Alex wants to wear. All right, maybe Alex has to wear a tie. Maybe Alex has to wear a dress. Maybe Alex has to wear a pantsuit. We don't know. But they're uncomfortable. They're not what Alex wants to wear. And of course, Alex has to beautify themselves a little bit. Okay. If Alex were a woman, this process would likely take longer because of certain standards imposed upon her. If Alex is a man, still has to make sure they're looking presentable. Okay. Uh, all right. Um, to save time, and maximize the amount of sleep Alex is getting, Alex quickly eats breakfast, which typically is a breakfast that is high in carbohydrates and lacks nutritional value. And if you know, 42% of Americans are obese. Um, and sometimes Alex skips their shower or skips a breakfast because they need a few more minutes in bed. They're tired. So they might actually not get up right when their alarm goes off. They might hit the snooze button a few times. They're tired. They might decide I'll just grab a granola bar out the door. Maybe I will just quickly brush off my armpits and run out the door because I need some more sleep. I don't have enough sleep. Okay. And this is what Alex does Monday through Friday. All right. Okay. Then Um, Alex gets in their vehicle and heads to work. All right. Alex, by the way, could not possibly afford an electric vehicle. Um, uh, no, so Meow's, that's a fair point, Meow's. I am not saying that Alex is obese. I am saying that um, Alex basically is forced to eat high carbohydrate food with low in nutrition value because of time restraints and money restraints. And what is the result of that? We have a big issue in America with obesity and other chronic conditions related to unhealthy food. Um, uh, okay. Um, all right. Alex then gets in their vehicle and heads to work. Um, Alex could not possibly afford an electric vehicle, despite what all those liberals out there chiding them might say. Okay. And has no access to public transportation. Um, okay. Around 2000, and by the way, because this Alex doesn't have access to public transportation, Alex has to spend around $2,800 a year on gas. Okay. Um, all right. In your groove, that you're right. But Alex can't afford any new car. Okay. Alex has to use an old car that Alex has had for a long time. And any thought of trying to afford a new car seems out of Alex's reach. Okay. All right. Not only that, folks. So this, poor Alex here is having some issues. I think we can see that. Um, yep, and you're right. And that's the other thing too in your groove. This does not factor in other expenses that come along. Um, that come along with the car. Okay. Alex's average one way commute to work is 30 minutes. Okay. That's 1 hour spent driving every day to and from work. That's about 200 hours a year. That's nearly full days of unpaid labor a year that Alex spends driving to work and driving back from work. And Alex is not paid for this to get to work. Um, and this is only an average. So it takes on average 30 minutes to get to work and 30 minutes to get back. All right. Sometimes, by the way, Alex's commute is a hellish affair. Um, uh, I mean, Alzord, it's probably NPR, to be honest with you. I'm guessing Alex is listening to NPR. Um, it could be NPR, I'm guessing, or might be listening to. There's a great podcast called "Lions Led by Donkeys," so it could be any podcast, right? Okay. Alex's commute is sometimes a hellish affair. Crumbling infrastructure, overcrowded roads, and frequent accidents result in a lot of stress for Alex. This does nothing for Alex's already high blood pressure, which, by the way, 50% of Americans have hypertension, high blood pressure. Okay. All that time on the road, Alex is sitting, stress is rising. Yeah, absolutely, Alan. 50%. Okay. Maybe it's a little less than that, maybe a little more. Okay. J-Mac. Okay. All that time on the road, Alex is sitting, which is unhealthy. Alex's stress is rising. Alex's health is declining, and Alex occasionally loses their cool and engages in some road rage. I mean, who wouldn't? And by the way, 80% of Americans are reported to engage in road rage of some sort. I wonder why. I wonder why. Shocking when you hear about Alex, right? Okay. Shocking when you hear about Alex's experience. All right. Uh, Alex finally arrives. Alex finally arrives at their workplace, sometimes arriving late, which, by the way, about 30% of Americans arrive late at work at least once per month. And we wonder why that is based off what we've learned about Alex. I wonder if that might have something to do with the things in their lives making it hard for them to get to work on time. Um, about 30% of Americans arrive late at least once per month. Alex occasionally does too. Okay. Um, all right. So that's 1 in 3 Americans, a little less than 1 in 3. Alex arrives at work, and instantly feels um, a bump in stress. Okay. Because as Alex is walking into their workplace, they have to change their affect. They have to put on their game face. Regardless of what may have happened on the road on the way into work, regardless of the fact that they might be sleep deprived, regardless of the fact that they may not have had an adequate breakfast. Regardless, Alex has to put on a professional face. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And so that's kind of stressful for Alex. Alex tries to do it. Alex puts on their game face. Then, okay, Alex gets a coffee. Sometimes Alex, because there might not be coffee at the workplace, will need to go to a Starbucks or something, which is expensive. Alex gets a coffee because they didn't get enough sleep and they don't enjoy their job. And so, how the heck are they going to be motivated to work unless they have a little caffeine? Which, by the way, 70% of Americans drink coffee. Okay, 70% of Americans drink coffee. And we wonder why so many people might need to go to a Starbucks or get some coffee before work. And then we blame them saying, well, why are you spending that money? All these millennials, all these Gen Zers wasting their money. Well, maybe they need it because they don't get enough sleep and they're not motivated to work because they don't care about their jobs are terrible. Anyway, so 70% of Americans drink coffee. Maybe this is why. Okay. Yep. I hope folks and Meow's already. I know a lot of folks are say, and I'm not trying to re-traumatize anyone in chat. I think you see what I'm doing here. Okay. Okay. Alex proceeds, by the way, to work for the next 8 to 9 hours, sometimes more. Okay, 8 to 9 hours with two short 15-minute breaks, um, and one 30-minute lunch break required by law. Sometimes, by the way, those so-called breaks are spent hanging out with other employees, sometimes even the boss, sometimes even talking about work. So not really a break. You're still at work. Toya, I will accept that question. Alex is probably on antidepressants because how the hell could you keep doing this? Um, how the hell could you keep doing this unless you were on something that helped you get through it? And by the way, I wonder why so many Americans are depressed. Okay. All right. Alex has to pay, by the way, for their own lunch, which they need. Okay. They need for the energy they require to work. JMac, again, very possibly. If Alex is a man, he might need some medication for erectile dysfunction because, dear God, if you're stressed all the time, you're not going to be able to perform sexually. My point is, there's a lot of crap going on, okay, that is affecting Alex that might kind of explain a lot of the crap we see happening in society. Alyssa, Alex should have packed a sandwich. Indeed, Alyssa. Perhaps Alex could have, but that still would have been Alex spying his own lunch, would it not have? Their own lunch. Okay. Um, Alex has to pay for their own lunch, which they need to eat for the energy they require to work. But don't worry, the company that is requiring that work will not pay for that lunch for Alex. Yeah, Alex will be the one that pays for it. Okay. All day, by the way, all day, Alex has to suppress their own personality and desires while under constant supervision by authority figures. But don't worry, Alex will occasionally find a chance to escape the eye of the authority figure by doing something like going to the restroom and sitting in the toilet on their phone for a while. Anything they can do, Alex can do to resist the situation Alex is in. Okay. Um. Okay. Hooray! Hooray! Alex is receiving a reward for Employee of the Month. Oh, joy, everyone! Joy! They are granted a $20 gift card But by the way, no increase in wages. Nothing like that. Um, which remain, by the way, at less than Alec. Um, uh, Alex, by the way, is paid less than $41,000 a year, which is the same as about half of Americans. About half of Americans have an average income of $41,000 a year or less. So Alex is, he's remaining at 41,000 or less a year. But don't worry, he got Employee of the Month for working really hard and was handed a $20 gift card. Um, yeah, I gotta tell you, Twitch chat is doing great right here. Okay, yeah, you're right, Alan, and hey, how dare you, J Mac? I'm trying not to gender Alex, but I mess it up sometimes. Okay, uh, okay, okay, right, and by the way, Alex's place of work is trying to suppress any sort of union formation. Okay. Let's go on. Alex, by the way, also takes a lot of abuse from customers. Not just his boss, their boss, excuse me. Who make these customers um uh uh make take a lot of abuse from customer they Alex takes a lot of abuse from customers who make multiple demands of Alex and are often rude and dehumanizing, much like Alex's boss. Okay. Um oh, no doubt, Mithril, no doubt. Um, okay. By the way, also, Alex will often be criticized for not responding to phone calls and text messages that Alex receives when they're not working at home on during vacation. Their boss might not like that, even though it's unpaid. Anyway, all right. Alex, of course, knowing all of this, Alex literally counts down the minutes till they can leave this place and cuts corners while working to avoid working too much and alleviate their stress. Um, Alex may even set mental goals for themselves where they say, okay, I just gotta make it till lunch. I just gotta make it till 1 PM. I just gotta make it till 2 PM. Setting tiny goals for themselves so that they're not overwhelmed by the amount of time they have left working in the day. Um, okay. All right. By the way, when the earnings report for Alan, I'm sorry, Alan, Alex's company comes in. One of two things happen. One, Alex's company has made their yearly goal of profit and they get a pizza party. Yay! Pizza party. Yay. No increase in wages, but pizza party. Hey, okay. You only get two slices though. Two slices. You get a pizza party. Now, if the company, at the other hand, failed to meet its goal, Alex and his coworkers are chided and pushed to work even harder. Meanwhile, by the way, um, by the way, the company's CEO is making, on average, 430 times Alex's wages, whether or not the company is doing well or not doing well. Okay, maybe a little bit less if they're not doing well, but anyway. Uh, okay. Yep, right, Malzord. Pizza party at the office is the biggest cope incentive. Totally agree. Um, and okay. And he gets big fat bonuses, J Mac. Yeah, big fat bonuses. Um, okay. Freedom! Freedom! Okay, Alex finally gets to go home. Finally gets to go home. But, uh, of course, their boss stops and talks to them for 20 unpaid minutes after they clock out of work. But soon, Alex is on the road listening to music while stuck in rush hour traffic. Great for Alex, okay? At least Alex is free though, right? Um, and let's hope he doesn't get too many texts or calls from work after he's actually off also. Alex makes it home. Yay. But it's trash day. It's trash day. And uh Alex knows that they need to do some chores, but sometimes Alex is literally just too tired and wants a break. Today, however, Alex manages to find the motivation to take out the trash, but now Alex has even less time to relax. And some days Alex might not take out the trash, might not clean up the house or the apartment, might not do those dishes. And those might start to pile up. Um because Alex is tired. Alex is stressed. Alex needs a break. Okay. Alex is so tired after work, by the way, that Alex decides it is better to order in food versus to actually make food. Now, making food is less expensive. It's also healthier, but who the hell has time for that? Um, this is more expensive, by the way, to order in food and less healthy, but Alex needs to eat, okay, and is utterly burnt out after work and chores and doesn't want to have to make food because Alex is exhausted. Um, and remember how people get criticized. You should stop ordering in so much. That's why you're poor. You order into too much. That's not the issue. That's not the issue. Uh, Alex sits down to watch TV and immediately sees a talking head on Fox News saying that immigration and trans people are destroying America and causing Alex's life to be harder than it needs to be. Alex, um, Alex, though, then flips to CNN, and CNN is saying that Fox News is lying because the economy is doing great and Fox News is racist. Um, I don't know about you, but I don't feel like either of those channels are telling Alex the truth. Um, okay. I don't think the economy. Anyway, you see what I'm saying there. Yeah, definitely Fox News is racist and transphobic. So I guess if anyone's telling the truth, CNN is. But being told that the economy is great might not be helpful. Yep, a half truth, right, Alan? And we can imagine that CNN probably is not going to end up liking Fox News or CNN. And if they did have to choose one, it'd probably end up being Fox because at least Fox is speaking to Alex's problems, right? Even if it's a lie. You see where I'm going with this. Alex can only take in so much information after work, also, by the way. They quickly turn their thoughts to less stressful things, wouldn't you? Okay. And put on an episode of America's Got Talent. Sometimes they watch Shark Tank. Um, in most cases, the message is clear. If Alex works harder, and finds the time to innovate, a wealthy benefactor might save Alex from their life of misery. So, really, all these shows are reminding Alex that they just need to work hard. Okay. They just need to work hard and innovate. And they can be rich like these people on TV. Right, Meowzord. And all those woke feminists don't want to date Alex too. Right, Alex? Exactly. Okay. Alex might be drawn into a far right wing rabbit hole like the incel movement, which, by the way, when does Alex have time to date anyone anyway? And how might that make it easier for Alex to fall into that right wing rabbit hole when Alex is lonely? All right. You see what I mean? And oh, SoCal, you're ahead of me. Okay. All right. It's 9 p.m. Okay. Okay. It might be my Alex might be a dude. Okay. but you can also see women, going down these routes, not in some of the same ways, okay? A lot of men you get what I'm saying, okay? It's 9 p.m. Alex knows they should go to bed. Even Alex's therapist says Alex should get more sleep. But Alex is filled with a sense of dread. Okay, sleep means Alex will have to wake up tomorrow morning and do it all over again. Okay, and do it all over again. All right. Uh, and uh, uh, and Alex has not spent enough time decompressing today, anyways. Okay, could be Alyssa. On the next page, you'll see I add some other things in here. Okay. So Alex does eventually get to sleep. Well, okay. Alex, by the way, ends up turning to alcohol to help them relax because there's not enough time for them to relax on their own. Alcohol, however, is a depressant. So although Alex does relax, it further lowers Alex's mood overall. Okay. Um, Okay, and I know, folks, I can't. Okay, I'm ruining it by making it gendered. I'm not trying to ignore me throwing in the incel stuff and things like that. Okay, you, this could be a man or a woman. Obviously, we could pretend that Alex didn't become an incel and is a woman and is still ridiculously stressed at work. Okay, and at home. Okay, all right. It further lowers Alex's mood, and about 17% of Americans have a substance use disorder. Because, I mean, can you blame them, after reading all this? Can you? Um, or you know what? If we wanna talk about a woman, what if this is a woman who ends up, just becoming a trad wife? Because this work culture feels so oppressive to her. She would rather, um, become a domestic, as women were traditionally made to be historically. You see what I mean? We could talk about this in different ways. Um, yeah, EMD Lizard, I 100% agree that that number is low. I'm sure it's more than 17%. A lot of Americans, a lot of Americans, um, no, Alyssa, you're not a trad wife, okay? But like, you see what I mean, okay? All right. That's sort of a different thing, Alyssa, but, all right. Okay, yeah, I'm sure that number is higher. Okay, yeah, okay. Fine Alex, by the way, finally gets to bed, but struggles to sleep, uh, knowing that they will have to wake up and do it all over again tomorrow. Okay. All right. Now, this that's the end of our story, but okay, but not really. Let me add to you. Let me add to you weird amorphous blob. It probably has to do with the tobacco industry doing something about it, I'm guessing. I'm assuming. Let me add some other variables in here and let's see what you all think. What if Alex had a chronic health condition during all of this? What about a mental health condition? What about PTSD? How might that further complicate the situation Alex is in every day? Um, I'm sure you can guess. Ain't gonna make it easier. And boy, are there a lot of Americans with chronic health conditions. A lot. Okay. Okay. What about this? What if Alex had children? Yeah, Meowsord, right? What if Alex had children? What if Alex was a single mom? What if one of those children had special needs? Uh, I don't think that makes the situation easier for Alex, does it? Or for the children. Um, I would guess it adds a great deal of complication to the situation. All right. Uh, okay. What about this? What if Alex also has a lot of college debt a lot of credit card debt or medical debt. I know I'm pausing a lot here. I'm trying to get you all know this. I just want you to think about this, right? It's I like it is almost unbearable to think about, isn't it? It is almost an unbearable situation people are in. All right. Um yeah, good question in your groove. What if Alex suddenly has a 1000K repair cost on their car for whatever it may be? Um yeah, yep, JMac. Mhm. And by the way, a lot of that government aid is getting cut, okay? What about this? What if Alex owned a firearm? There's a reason I added that one in there, folks. Do we see what might not what might end up happening with Alex and that firearm? Um, and, by the way, most gun deaths in this country are self-inflicted, okay? And remember what I was saying previously, Alex might have a TV screaming at them saying that trans people are the cause of all their problems, that immigrants are the cause of all their problems, that this or that politician is the cause of all their problems, and they have a gun. Okay. What if Alex recently lost a family member and are going through a great deal of grief and still have to do all this? What if Alex is going through a divorce? What if Alex lives in a high crime area where they don't feel safe? Okay. What if Alex had no support system, no living family members, no close friends, no partner in life? Um, all right. What if English was not Alex's first language? There's another layer, complication. Okay. What if Alex was a felon or on parole or had a criminal record? Makes it even more difficult. This last one here is uh yeah, right, Malzord? What if, like, an elite did something like that? Um, what if right, London, what if Alex was in a minority group that was, um, yeah, what if Alex was undocumented? 100%, Alan. What if they were in a minority group that is traditionally, marginalized, and lives in an underfunded neighborhood? What if, and lastly here, this is kind of a small one compared to the other ones. How does the season of the year affect this? If it's winter, it's gonna be even harder, especially if you don't have a garage, because 'cause you're gonna need to every day you get up, you're gonna have to clean that car off of snow, you're gonna have to clean your driveway off of snow, it'll be more dangerous to drive. Anyway, and as SoCal said, what if all of these things are true at once? Because it could be. So, that's the end of that, folks. Um, we have a tendency in our society to blame people for their decisions or to say they made the wrong decision or, oh, they just made bad choices. What choices does Alex have? Really? Like, what kind of choices are those choices? Those are not choices. Is that freedom? We, uh, the United States, people in the United States are always screaming that we live in the freest country in the world. We're all free. We're not goddamn free. Are you kidding me? That is not freedom. Alex is not free. All right. Um, and not only that, folks, you all know how this feels. Okay. Who here has trouble not blaming themselves when they struggle with something like this in their lives? Who here tends to turn it inwards and say, "What am I doing wrong? What do I need to change? I must not be working hard enough. There must be something wrong with me that I am struggling." Who here does that? Because we are taught from the day we are born to blame ourselves and to pick ourselves up by the bootstraps, and that any failures are your own failures. You just need to work harder. You just need to think more positively. You just need to make that extra effort, okay? The people that succeed because they they work harder than you. They're smarter than you. They're taking the chances you're not taking. Is that true? After reading about Alex, is that true? Okay. Oh my God! Thank you, Luke, very much. I will put on the jester collar. Thank you, Luke. Okay. Oh, thank you, Tiago. I'm sorry. I'll check out your coffee. Okay, you're buying me a coffee, but I'll count it. So, um, you see what I'm saying? Now, Alyssa here had a really good question. What ends up happening to Alex? What end up what ends up happening to Alex? Guess what, folks? Guess what, folks? Okay. Although I just said that Alex is not to blame for the situation Alex is in, what ends up happening to Alex is up to us because the system ain't going to change itself. The system ain't going to change itself. If we want Alex to live a good long life, in dignity, okay, some things need to change. Um, yeah, Alex might get lucky. Maybe Alex will get that big break, and move on into the class of being an oppressor as opposed to being oppressed. But we need, if we want Alex to do well, we got to change things. All right. So I don't know what happens to Alex, but if we do want to change the outcome, we can. All right. And again, I know I keep harping on that, and I know I'm not really offering a solution or saying what you can do to change that. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Fox Emblem, it is a game of luck. If Alex does end up winning the game of capitalism and making it becomes one of the wealthy and powerful, at least Alex can become an oppressor, right? I guess. All right. And by the way, folks, it has been studied. People who rise up the fastest in the business sphere typically are the people most obedient to the authority of people above them. Okay. And are the most willing to step on others. So you have to have your humanity drained from you and your empathy drained from you to even move up in the corporate world. Um, yeah, 100% Meowsor, that we live in a guilt society. And a lot of times people blame themselves. And boy, does that, Meowsor, doesn't that really support the super structure? Right? I mean, the superstructure, the idea of guilt is very interesting because it really reinforces the structure, doesn't it, Meowsord? Um, okay. Yep. Right, Weird Amorphous Blob. JMac, well, to make this change, we got to get rural peeps and others to stop voting against their interest. You're right, JMac. We do. We do. And the way to do that, JMac, is to give those rural peeps a material change that they can feel and see so that the lies that they're being told that are making them vote for the wrong people will no longer matter. Um, Right, exactly. Meowsor, do you see what I mean? Like, maybe our guilt culture is linked into the superstructure, and it enforces the structure, and so people need to change how they think. They need to change their adherence to the superstructure. Um, yeah, that is very true, JMac. Okay, I EDM Lizard, by the way, I love your name. I outwork all my coworkers, but I can't screw over other people. That's my flaw. EDM, that's a problem, right? Like uh, it should be that you don't have to screw over other people to get ahead. Okay. Um, yeah, you're right, JMac. And for a long time, rural people sided with the Democrats or with FDR because of that. It went backwards. But yeah. Um, okay. Right. Mithril, my last corpo job, we were put into teams when I explained to our team manager um, that in a team you identify different people's strengths and weaknesses. She looked blankly at me. What? What an idiot. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Well, she clearly doesn't know how to do a team. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Weirdomorphous blob awakening self-esteem, 100%. Tiago, I'll take a look at that, Tiago. Uh, yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, J-Mac. Insane. Okay. All right. So, folks, I did get I got buy me a coffee. I'm going to check that out real fast. Do you all get, I hope you all see the message I'm sending all of you here. Okay. When we see something like, um, oh, thank you so much, Tiago, for both of those super chats. Who's your favorite follower? Well, clearly it's Matt Guy, obviously, Tiago. Just kidding, okay. Uh, okay, I'll set him to you, Tiago. Thank you. Okay. So that puts us at 3 super chats. We get 2 more, we'll do a Q&A. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Alyssa. And like I feel like if we were to there, thank you. You know Matt Guy. Okay. All right. If we offered rural people something, if the Democrats actually gave them something that was physical and useful, versus the lying from the Republicans, I suspect that would help change a lot of people's minds. Okay. I mean, imagine if a lot of people like Alex were suddenly granted a lot of, I'm just kidding with you, Tiago. You know, I love you, Tiago. Okay. Um, okay. Like, anyway. All right. Like, who do we think, what kind of politician do we think would get Alex on their side? And by the way, yeah, there would be death threats coming in, JMac. Unfortunately, as I'm sure you know, JMac, bravery is required. Um, okay. All right. Uh, that amazing Mithro. Love that. Yep. Okay. So, all right. Thank you everyone for listening to me there. I'm going to put my face back up here for a second. Um, we need to be better, folks, also. I mean, so I want to point something else out too. When we hear the news, right, we hear basically clips of things that happen in time. You're right, Alyssa, and there need to be people that are out there offering it. Um, scold us, daddy. Thank you, J Mag. Okay, right. Yeah, obviously, Kamala Harris is who people wanted, right? Weird amorphous blob. Okay. Uh, when we see things that happen in the news, like you hear about a school shooting, or you hear about some person who went down and did violence or something, you hear about a Trump rally, you hear about these things. These things do not happen in isolation, right? There are structural things causing these things to happen. And based on how our news cycle is set up, which is to attract views, this includes online, okay? This includes me. We lose the context around the event. And if we only look at events in isolation, we will keep seeing those things happen over and over and over again. Okay? Uh we need to change the structures around these events that result in these things happening. It is a matter of statistics, is it not? You get enough Alexes out there that own guns in the situation that Alex is in, and one of those Alexes is going to do something. Okay. All right. Um, now then, I did. I read it aloud, Matt Saigai. I read Tiago didn't say much. Tiago just said, "Who's your favorite follower?" and asked me to send him the slides, which I will do. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, guys. So that's all I wanted to talk with you about was Alex. Okay. And remember, uh, okay. King Allen, Allo, Bernie would win over right wingers better than centrist Dems, proven by the video. I agree. I agree. The one before that, oh yeah, yeah. I read his rant. I read his big rant, Mad Saiga, the one he had sent previously. Absolutely. Okay. All right. So now, folks, uh, we have some other things to talk about. Um, right, Jamie. Um, what was I going to say? Oh, okay. So I have some things, videos to watch with all of you, and that were put in Discord. Uh, one is a clip. I think Alyssa sent it. And by the way, folks, we need to start thinking about ways to get people to take action. Like, I have not been very good at this. Like, I am not sure. Like, when people ask me, what can I do right now? Alyssa actually kind of opened my eyes to this yesterday, by the way. Alyssa asked me yesterday, so what can we do tomorrow to actually start changing things? And I didn't have a direct answer. We need to be able to give people a direct answer. Uh, anyway, so it's just something to think about. I've been thinking about it. Um, uh, okay. All right. So, okay. So, I have a few things I wanted to watch with all of you. That's true. So, okay. Okay. Uh, um, oh, okay. I will take a look there. Meowzord. Is it in, Discord, I'm guessing? Um, okay. Let me see here. Jesus Christ. This is okay, though this is a amazing piece of photography. Look at this, folks. Here, I'll put it up. Um, yeah, no, no, you're totally right, Alyssa. And I was while I was trying to sleep last night, Alyssa, I was thinking about your question. And I felt like it's a failure on my part that I don't have an answer to that. And I know you don't view it that way, Alyssa, but you're right. Like, people need to be able to know what they can do immediately if necessary. Um, so this image, by the way, a wonderful piece of art in terms of the photographer. Look at this. This is a um, a photo that was taken. Um, like, look at this. This picture photo is going to go down in history. I can promise you. I can tell already. This is symbolic of the Trump era. This guy back here with a baton, which can basically break bones if you hit with hard enough with it. This guy has, I believe that's a beanbag gun. I think it's a beanbag gun. I'm not sure. Right in his face. Um, from the Chicago Sun Times, amazing Meowsord. Holding up his arms. Someone trying to pull him away. And folks, like, the cowardice. How much of a coward do these guys have to be that they're holding this person right at gunpoint like this? This will be in textbooks, absolutely. Um, very symbolic of the situation we're in. Okay. Anyway, just a side note there. The guy on the right. Yeah, look at this. Look at all this equipment. I mean, Jesus Christ. The gun. I mean, is that a thermal scope? Like, what is this? Is he fighting like he has a silencer? You're right, he does have a silencer. Is this like are they going into Iraq? Like, what is this? Are they going to Eastern Ukraine? Um, I mean, brutal. Okay. Yep. It could be a sniper. I'm not sure. I am not. It looks here like it's an automatic weapon of some sort. I'm not quite sure. I'm not terribly familiar with different kinds of weapons. And I believe this is a federal guy because he has a federal. Yeah, these two are federal. I think this is too. So I hope this photograph wins some award of some sort. Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Meowzord. Now, I wanted to, let's start with this one. Okay. Uh, Now, folks, I will say there are a lot of great videos that have been recommended to me on our Discord. Yeah. Oh my God, Alyssa, you're right. Okay. There have been some great. It reminds me of this photo. Well, one second. Let me find you another guy's photo real fast. Civil rights. Uh, this photo is very famous. Showing. Uh, Here we go. This one. Uh, this black man just standing. I don't know if you can see it very well. Like just standing there with a police dog mauling him, uh, and the police holding on to him like he's some sort of horrible criminal. Another great one from history that I can show you. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, here you can see the dog. Just he's just standing there and he's being attacked by a dog. That's from the civil rights movement. One more here. Uh, uh, Protester with American flag. Uh, Attacks, black man. So this is from Boston. This is a very famous image. Another one from a very different from a protest against, integrating busing in Boston. Look at this. The symbolism is astounding and wasn't even intentional. This is a black man in a suit, okay, uh, being held by a white protester. While, of course, J-Mac, I've lived in Boston, J-Mac, and oh my God, I have never heard the free flowing of slurs from white people's mouths like I did when I was in Boston. And this white man is holding an American flagpole and is attempting to beat the black man with the American flagpole. I mean, the photograph speaks for itself. Okay. All right. Anyway, there have been some great photographs from history. All right. Look at this one. Um, which one, Alyssa? Uh, all right. So, just some other examples of a great history defining photos here. Okay, now, I wanted to watch this with all of you. Um, this one is, uh, yeah, the self-immolation monk in Vietnam, Luke, 100%. Oh yeah, Alyssa, you can if you just put it over on Discord, I'll open it. Or you can also put it on Twitch. Twitch, you can just post them there, but send it to me, Alyssa. I want to look at it. Um, so I wanted to watch. Yeah, you're right. You think? Yeah, I know, right? SoCal, shocking. It's almost like we never lived up to the ideals described in the Declaration of Independence. It's shocking, right? In your groove, a shocking discovery. Uh, okay, Alyssa, let me check it real fast. Uh, oh yeah. Oh my God, I remember this. I remember this. Um, yeah, when we folks, remember we talked about how when America, um, is this Abu Ghraib? This is a very famous image. I can't. I want it to be expanded, but it's not. It's about as big as it can get. Okay. You can see. You guys can kind of see it. I think. This is a very famous image of uh, um, an Iraqi POW during the Iraq War holding a child, what with a black bag over his head. Also award winning stuff. I did, J-Mac. I did not see what they decided, though. Okay. Anyway, so this is another award-winning photo. Really telling about the time. Great historical image there. Um, there's so many more. Okay. Yeah, absolutely, Alan. Okay. The dehumanization present, etc. Okay. All right, guys. So, what I wanted to watch this. It's only 12 minutes long. This was sent to me a while back, but I thought this so what was the Supreme Court? Yeah, was that Abu Ghraib? It may have been Abu Ghraib. By the way, folks, you can look up pictures from Abu Ghraib, but a content warning because we massively abused those prisoners in a terrible war crime that a lot of people have forgotten about. And then we took pictures of the war crimes and we're laughing at them. Okay. All right. At least the troops that did it were. Okay. So let's watch this together. I know this is kind of a tone change. It's kind of a palate cleanser, not really. Let's just watch this. This is about yeah, some of the most depraved torture imaginable, right? Weird amorphous blob. Let's watch. This is from what's his name? Dr. Mike. I know he's a pretty famous person. But he just did a little thing about Tylenol and autism. Yeah, exactly, Dolly Boy. It was like a real life Stanford experiment. Okay. So let's see what he has to say about it. I'm interested to hear it. And stay around, of course, we will. I know I didn't mean to, J Mac. Okay, I know it was a depressing day for a Wednesday. Okay. All right. So let's see here. Let's see what he has to say about Tylenol.
Jr. and President Trump held a press conference on Tylenol and autism. My cell phone exploded with tweets, emails, and messages asking for me to uncover the truth. Interestingly enough, I was actually working on a video for a new Truth or Scare episode on the association between Tylenol and autism. Now, I wanted to come into this video very level-headed, relaxed, just to talk about the facts, cover what was wrong, cover what was right, but this press conference was just so bad.
Speed it up, okay, Alyssa.
So full of inaccuracies, lies, judgment. It literally depressed me to see how far we've fallen. I've said that the information I present on this channel is not political, it's clinical. But what I really meant was that it isn't partisan. For the last few years, partisan politics have destroyed our credibility as healthcare professionals. Truth and facts have progressively become devalued in comparison to
society.
winning. And before your mind goes there, this isn't a left or right thing either. Whether it was President Biden announcing boosters before the CDC and FDA even approved them, or President Trump pushing hydroxychloroquine as a game changer while his own NIH rushed to fact check him. Even Vice President Kamala Harris has played this game, claiming she would not get Trump's vaccine, only to get it several months later. The problem is just universal. And now with this autism press conference, we've sunk to an all-time low. It's no longer political theater, but more like a partisan soap opera. Listening to the words Trump uses in this one single press conference. Whether you're liberal or conservative, it's truly abysmal. I don't mean this from a political correctness standpoint. I mean this from a scientific communication standpoint.
And by the way, I think I can say that there are certain groups of people that don't take vaccines and don't take any pills that have no autism, Is that a correct statement, by the way? See, Bob?
I love how you, okay, oh my God. Why does he has to fact check after he's already said this? I don't know why I'm stopping it. You all know he's a moron.
He wants to be very careful with what he says, and he should, but I'm not so careful with what I say.
Imagine your own doctor repeating those lines to you.
Oh God, he is woke, Alan.
What I feel.
Scientific press conferences are not supposed to be about how you feel. It's not even about how experts feel. It's about what the evidence shows and to what level it shows.
Yeah,
I'm not a doctor, but I'm giving my opinion.
This literally reminds me of one of those stupid shirts at Spencer's that say, I'm not a doctor, but I'll take a look. This isn't comedy. This is what folks will use to make their health decisions. Some of the press conference is even uncomfortable to listen to. Look, I point out that political correctness can stifle speech that could perhaps give us a better understanding of reality. In fact, I've even been called fat-phobic and have had to defend myself for encouraging weight loss in those who are obese. But the way the president discusses these topics, it's just gross.
Like an Ozempic, or I call it the fat pill or the fat drug. Sometimes it works, I guess, for people. The ones I've seen, it hasn't worked so well. I got a lot of friends, they're fat. They said, yeah, I lost some weight. I said, you don't look at me.
We've blurred the reality between podcast hosts who straddle the line between comedy and politics with a president who makes jokes at the expense of accuracy and others' well-being. But let's get to the science. Throughout this press conference, President Trump repeatedly says,
don't take Tylenol. There's no downside. Don't take it. You'll be uncomfortable. It won't be as easy, maybe, but don't take
Okay, that's okay. That is a downside. God, he's such a like, there's no downside. Yeah, you'll be uncomfortable. That's a downside.
it. If you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol. And don't give it to the baby
Hello,
after
Doug
the
on the
baby is born.
Well, as a board-certified, actively practicing physician who's been in practice over 10 years, he's flat out wrong. In healthcare, every decision has consequences. Taking or not taking a medication both carry sets of benefits and harms. That's because medications, therapy, surgeries all have biological, psychological, and even social implications and trade-offs. And what's even more interesting is that those benefits and harms will be drastically different depending on which individual we're discussing. All this is to show that I'm not making an appeal to authority argument here, saying that Trump isn't a doctor, so he must be wrong. I'm actually saying he's wrong because he's wrong. If he was a doctor, he would know that not treating a fever, especially early in pregnancy, can carry serious risks. Elevated temperatures from untreated fever, even hot tubs or saunas, are consistently associated with higher neural tube defect risks in the fetus. This has even been applied to other parts of development, including increases in congenital heart defects and orofacial deformities. So no, we don't just give Tylenol for comfort during pregnancy.
There's no downside, other than a mother will have to, as I say, tough it out a little bit. There's no downside to doing this.
Oh my God.
Like, if you do
a mother will have to tough it out a bit. Can you imagine Trump having to give birth to a child? Oh my God. Oh, what a baby, right? Okay.
do this, you're going to die. There's no downside.
His tone about toughening up is not just judgmental, but inaccurate. What's ironic, the topic of lowering fevers is uniquely interesting to me because I've long discussed that we need to decrease this obsession that we have of routinely lowering a fever. So often a patient of mine says, I've been taking Tylenol around the clock to lower and control my fever. But that's not always necessary. A fever could be a good thing.
Yeah, totally.
But some can be problematic and are not okay. That's the nuance that's necessary. Trump also proudly highlighted how his team has...
Yeah, so folks, it is true. Like, a fever can be dangerous only if it reaches a certain level of fever. But you have a fever for a reason, to kill pathogens in your body when you're sick. So this obsession with like constantly keeping our fevers down is not great. I was reading about that interesting recently.
Crack the code for why autism rates have increased in the US. He blamed it on two things, sort of. And I say sort of because he's not the clearest communicator, especially when it comes to statistics.
And you know, we have something else called favoridations, where I'm going to be reducing drug prices by 1,000%.
What?
Trump implies over and over that Tylenol causes autism. And his director of the FDA quite literally said that on...
Is he being paid by Tylenol? I mean, I know it's like colloquial to call acetaminophen Tylenol, but like he could call it acetaminophen.
Fox News later that night.
Well, yeah. Oh, listen, don't get me wrong. Like you shouldn't have a fever for like a baby under 4 months. I should say, like, for a lot of adults. This is why I shouldn't give any sort of medical advice. But yeah, you know.
Well, I'll tell you, the biggest study was done by Harvard and Mount Sinai. They looked at 27 studies showing an association. There were 4 against it, and they said, based on the overwhelming body of evidence, there was a causal relationship. Those are the exact words of the dean of the Harvard School of Public Health.
On the surface, I realize that sounds terrifying. Tylenol is our go-to option for pain and fever in pregnancy because NSAIDs like ibuprofen and aspirin have well-proven risks. It's literally on the safe medication list that I give to my patients in the OB clinic. Here's the interesting twist. Their claim isn't totally made up. I pointed out earlier, I was literally working on a video on this exact subject. For years, researchers have studied the possible links between acetaminophen and autism, ADHD, and other developmental conditions. Some of those studies do show associations, and some show biological plausibility, especially in animal models, which means that it is possible that Tylenol may play a role in autism development. But when someone like RFK Jr. cherry picks that data to support his pre-made conclusion, it can be sold to sound very convincing. That's the big problem here. The data should lead to the story. But if you already know the story...
Girls' education leads
to
come
on, I thought... Oh, I must be on the wrong account. Because we haven't had a single ad for a while because I actually got a subscription. Okay, anyway.
You're not doing the science. You're doing marketing. Or in this case, politics. Consistently, this administration misses the cornerstone of scientific research. Correlation does not equal causation. There's a lot to unpack in many of these studies. There's many variables and confounders at play. Just think about it. Who takes Tylenol? Those who have fevers or pain, basically people who are sick. Perhaps the association of sickness is stronger than the association of Tylenol use.
Yeah, this reminds me of a great little thing. So folks, do you know that people who eat ice cream have a higher rate of drowning. So if you eat ice cream, you have a higher rate of drowning. Can we guess why? Can you guess? Do you want to guess why? Why people who eat ice cream have a higher rate of drowning? Um, uh, uh, Thank you. Thank you in your group because people who eat ice cream typically live in hotter climates or it's summer, and so they're more likely to be eating ice cream and also be swimming. So that's what we mean by correlation doesn't equal causation. Just because people who eat ice cream drown doesn't mean that eating ice cream causes drowning. Okay, if that makes sense. Okay.
Did RFK Jr. bother to even check? Anyway, let's zoom out and look at some real information. In 2021, over 90 scientists signed a statement that pregnant women should be cautious with Tylenol. Not to stop it, not to ban it, just to be cautious. Which really, I feel like that should always be the case with medications. Fast forward, the biggest study came out this year in Sweden, not in the US, looking at over 2 million children. When they compared siblings, one who was exposed to Tylenol, one not, boom, no increased autism risk. That's really powerful because siblings share genetics, environment, and parental health habits. So if Tylenol was truly to blame, you'd expect a signal.
Yeah, I have a twin sister. I'm a twin. Now that's not exact genetics, but very similar genetics. And she doesn't have ADHD. Well, she has ADHD, but she doesn't have she doesn't have any autistic symptoms or anything. Anyway,
there, but it wasn't. Other big studies since then, same story. Maybe a slight association, but when you control for confounders like genetics, illnesses, and environmental exposures, it mostly evaporates. How about the fact that the use of Tylenol during pregnancy has gone down or stayed stagnant in recent decades, yet autism rates continue to grow?
I am Mithril.
Less Tylenol, more autism. Doesn't make sense. Translation, the Tylenol autism link is not proven. Now here's where I get frustrated.
Yeah.
Trump, RFK Jr., and the rest of the administration presented this like a settled fact when it's obviously not. Even the author from the Harvard School of Public Health, who was misquoted, by the way, by Dr. McCary, clearly said further research is needed to confirm the association and determine causality. He sent that in his message to Trump's team before the press conference. Now, there's a world of a difference between there might be a risk here that's worth studying and this definitively causes autism. When you nix nuance and mix that messaging with partisan politics,
I know you would,
people lose trust in us, actual doctors. It also pushes some to avoid Tylenol when they really need it. Will people actually get hurt as a result of this press conference? Sure. I actually don't think that's unreasonable to expect. Truly, this is part of a bigger pattern. RFK Jr. and other politicians have built their careers on overstating scientific uncertainty, especially with autism. First vaccines, now Tylenol. Same playbook. Highlight just enough data to sound convincing, then exaggerate the conclusions. And Trump? Well, he's seizing on that to look like he's saving the day by taking on big pharma or small pharma, over-the-counter pharma, even if it means twisting the science. It plays well to score political points, but it's a disaster for pregnant patients who need honest, balanced guidance. It's even a bigger disaster for us who actually want to find the actual reason for the increased autism rates. RFK earlier this year said he'd find the cause of autism by September. And when he obviously didn't find it, he just chose an explanation that might fit. So if you're watching this and you're pregnant or planning to be, what do you do?
Great science.
First, stay alert, not anxious. Nothing in the newest research proves Tylenol causes autism. And if it does, I promise I'll be there to make that announcement. Second, keep using the rule we've always relied on. Lowest dose, shortest duration, only when the benefits outweigh the harms. Third, if you have questions, don't hesitate to talk to your family medicine or OB doctor. Because the proven risks of untreated fever, migraines, or severe pain can outweigh the theoretical risks of Tylenol. Science certainly evolves, but right now, the balance of evidence, even the author of the study used by RFK Jr., says Tylenol is safe enough for occasional use in pregnancy when necessary. The association truly becomes strongest after 4 weeks or even longer of use. Trump and RFK took a complicated, unsettled area of research and oversimplified it into a scary narrative for their own benefit. That's not helping anyone. If you want a deeper look into who RFK Jr. really is, click here.
Okay, I don't think we need to know who RFK Jr. really is. I think we know. Thank you for sending that, Tiago. So just interesting thing there, folks. Nice little breakdown of the stuff between autism and Tylenol. Now, next thing here I wanted to watch. what was I going to say? Also, folks, there is also an issue here with making autism out to be some sort of horrific illness. This is very complicated, right? I remember how I said to you before that I'm not saying that Mike didn't say any of this stuff. I'm talking about something separate separate here. Um would autism be a big problem in a different society, or does our social structure make it really hard for people with autism? Okay, like this is a ongoing debate. This is why a lot of folks use the term neurodivergent. It's not that if you have autism, there's something wrong with you. It is just a different way of thinking. There's a lot to talk about in regards to this. Okay, but just something also to throw out there. Yeah, like that the regime they're viewing it as this like the American government is. Yeah, exactly, Luke. There are different levels that require different levels of care. I'm not saying it's fully something that is socially constructed, but the regime is viewing it as like this horrible epidemic that needs to be crushed out. Like, just something to think about there too. There's a lot more to it than just being this disease. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Right, Alan. Okay. Wonder why. Okay. Okay. So, all right. I wanted to watch this real fast. Alyssa sent me this. Um, this was, I don't know. We're not going to watch all of it, obviously. I went to the point that Alyssa asked me to go to. I think she said 27 minutes in. I am curious to see. Um, this is an interview with this is an interview by I got you, Weirdamorphous Blob. You do you. Uh, oh yeah, neurotypicals are already hard enough to control. Exactly. Doug on the left. Okay. Um. Uh. Okay. 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 I could do that too, Alyssa. Um. Let me see. I'm not sure what. Let me look up some clips of it. I haven't seen it. I'm guessing it'll just be them going after Cory Booker a bit. Clips of Cory Booker on okay, what is it? Anti-Cult Club. Mm, well,
then we're talking in an echo chamber. Thank God.
so, oh, that's the name of the episode. Oh, that's right. I've had it. You're right. I'm sorry. Clips of Cory Booker on I've Had It podcast. Um, oh, that's what you were saying, J Mac. I think J Mac said
authoritarian's
I've
good
had
side.
it.
If they
And then
keep
I'm
it
like,
cool,
oh,
then no
J
harm, no
Mac must be
foul,
having
and
a
they
oh
might
wait.
even make more money. However, again, the large
That was another one I wanted to watch. So yeah, I know J Mac. I was like, I saw you say I've had it, and I'm like, oh, there's J Mac throwing a tantrum again about God knows what. Okay, but I see you were trying to recommend the name. Uh, okay. I've had it. Okay. Oh, let's watch this one. Let's watch this one. This is okay. Now, forgive me, folks. This
Gaza's
is
population is on the brink of famine. Every
okay. I know. I shouldn't be showing that.
Jennifer
Whatever, I don't care.
Welch, who's
Okay,
the host of
so here we go. Now we won't have any ads. Okay, there. No, I just got rid of the ads. I may have flashed. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. So we will. I know this is TYT, but they did a clip about this. Let's see here what happens. This, I guess, is Anna Kasparian talking about it. Cory Booker squirms when asked about Israel. No, folks, I'm not saying. Okay, I will do that. We'll do that. I know I'm not promoting the Young Turks here. I'm just looks like a clip that talks about it. So let's see what happens.
Jennifer Welch, who's the host of the I've Had It podcast, had a special guest on her program, Senator Cory Booker, a Democratic senator, and she asked him an important question about, well, foreign policy, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel, and more. Let's hear what he had to say.
Do you think he's a war criminal, Benjamin Netanyahu? Do you think he's a war criminal?
Again, these are questions that a lot of people think are the important litmus tests that are loaded and hot. My urgency is.
Oh my God, I can't stand Cory Booker. What? I know. I'm sorry, Mithril. I'm sorry that you got the Anna Kasparian jump scare. Okay, that is not a hard question to answer. I think we all know that, don't we? We all know that. Okay. The correct answer, there, right there you go, J-Mac, right? Oh, you're so right, J-Mac. If she would have followed up with, okay, well, do you think Putin's a war criminal? And it would be interesting to see if he does think Putin's a war criminal. Okay, let's see.
To be an effective leader in bringing an end to this crisis, and I get these questions all the time that, to me, undermine my urgency.
I think the thing that Democrats.
Right. That undermines his urgency to be asked is that true, Alan? Okay, maybe we'll look at a few other ones. Yeah, Alyssa, do you mind sending me a few clips if you can find them? Forgive me for asking you to do that. So that by the end of this, I could look at a few other clips from it, if you don't mind. I know you asked me previously. I don't mean to make you work. Okay. So yeah, okay.
Get so frustrated with where we are right now, where you see like the Zoran Mamdanis and the Graham Plattners rise up, because they can go on podcasts and you can say, do you think Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal? And they just say yes. And that's the end of it. It's not all of the rhetoric answering. It's like what happens to Democratic politicians.
What is that face he's making? Like, oh, well, I'm sorry. I don't do that. I got to dodge the question.
Go through this like prism. And then we can't ever get like the answer to yes.
He thinks that's funny. This is also funny. I refuse to call a war criminal a war criminal. He's committing genocide, but I won't acknowledge it.
Or no conversations like you do with Bernie and others. And that's the frustration for the Democratic
leadership. Do I think Netanyahu is worse than Trump? Yes.
Okay, thank you, Alyssa.
Do I think Netanyahu is worse than Trump? Yes, that wasn't the question. The question was, do you think Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal? And as you can see, Cenk, he avoided answering that question. And I can get into the reasons why this Democratic senator avoided answering that question, even though there's an abundance of evidence indicating that he broke international laws.
Alan, could you send a few clips from it too, if you don't mind?
And engaged in war crimes and is in fact wanted by the International Criminal Court due to the war crimes he has committed.
J-Mac, oh my God, I know. J-Mac says he's a best friends with a man who is a Zionist and has a kosher. Yes, what's his name? Rabbi. What is that guy's name? The guy who's like runs that kosher sex toys thing. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, thank you, Shmuley, Rabbi Shmuley, who is one of the most insufferable people I have ever seen on television. Yeah, I didn't know that he was friends with him. Yeah. Okay. And then didn't Rabbi Shmuley ride around on his back at a birthday party or something, almost humiliating him? Anyway, can't stand Rabbi Shmuley.
But what did you make of what Cory Booker had to say? Maybe we're misunderstanding him.
Okay, I don't need their commentary on this. Let's see what else is said up here. Yep.
Percentage of my resources come from.
I raised like 800,000.
Yeah, but that's a lifetime number of raising tens of millions of dollars. Let me give you the right stat. The majority of my money comes from small dollar contributions. By last report, I think 76% of it came from people that gave $25 or less. So this.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got to hear what this is about.
But that's a lifetime.
I'm going to go back a bit.
I don't understand my Democratic.
What about AIPAC money? You take AIPAC.
I actually haven't seen this video yet, and I'm super jazzed that we have it. So let's see how he answered that question.
Okay, what was the question?
I have disagreements with a lot of people. Look, I'm one of a handful of people that don't take corporate PAC money. I don't understand my Democratic.
What about AIPAC money? You take AIPAC money, don't you?
A minuscule percentage of my resources come from.
I raised like 800,000.
Yeah, but that's a lifetime number of raising tens of millions of dollars. Let me give you the right.
Exactly, Doug. I don't need to see TYT's commentary. Though admittedly, I will say TYT is typically pretty good on Israel. That being said, yeah.
The majority of my money comes from small dollar contributions. By last report, I think 76% of it came from people that gave $25 or less. So this to me is about, again, we could pick at each other or we could do what we need to be doing right now.
Jesus
You
Christ.
think we don't know?
Okay, you know what? I'm just going to go to the original. I don't know why I'm being mean to Alyssa here by not just going to the original. Let's just kind of see what is being said generally in this
Jennifer
thing.
Welch, who's the host of the I've Had It
Okay, the Anti-Cult Club. All right, let's just go for 27, I believe, is around when they start this, and then I will put it on speed here and then move around to try and find the good
Thank
points.
God I sit in a caucus with people.
I am. This is making me very curious. I am just very curious.
There's wild disagreements in the Republican tent, and yet they don't shoot at each other. And we have a really good way of holding up these purity tests. If I agree with you on 19.
Yeah, you're right, J-Mac. I'm not trying to defend. That's fair. Okay. Okay. So let's just play this back. Okay.
That's such bullshit. That is such bullshit. They fire at each other all the time.
Oh my God, I love
all
her.
this shit.
What is? I know her. What is her name again? I like how she's so. I'm going to go back
By
a
the
little
time
bit.
we're
I
in
missed
our
it.
50s, and so that makes sense.
You know, much more. I told people keep saying, "Oh, you waited for the right one," and I go, "No." I said I waited until I became the right one because I wouldn't have wanted to.
Thank you. Love Jennifer Welch.
All right, Senator Booker, what have you had it with?
I've had it with being single, 100%.
I
being single
hate this.
is not fun, especially when you're trying to date. And as a United States senator, it's been a difficult, challenging time. So I've had it with that, and I'm very psyched that
right
that I'm getting married.
When's the wedding?
Yeah, right. Ha 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 ha. So relatable. Like, okay, thank you, corporate robot. Can we get to a substance?
We're going to do it before the end of the year. Quick. We don't want to wait long, and we both want to get married quick, and we're both hoping to have kids at sometime soon. So, there's a lot to do, and time is of the essence.
We want to talk to you about, the country, and it feels like the Democratic opposition is just not getting it. There are votes that you've made that were heartbreaking to me, like the vote for Kushner. That really pissed me off because I feel like this administration, it's not, are they fascist? They are fascist.
That is cool.
It's not, we're on the precipice of fascism. We have Pritzker, Texas is sending troops to Illinois. I mean, and I feel like the opposition needs to be fuck no across the board. We're not giving you a centimeter. And I think there's been a lot of capitulation. I think there's been a lot of Neville Chamberlain type appeasement from Democratic leadership. And you're one of them that's kind of been disappointing to me because we podcasted before.
I just love how blunt she is. Like, oh my God, where are all the real journalists out? Like, anyway.
They're serious about Project 2025. They're going to do all this shit. And they're doing every single bit of it. So what do you think? What do you have to say about the capitulation that you've participated in and where the Democratic Party is right now?
Well, first of all, I would say very pointedly that one of the things I dislike about the Democratic Party is that we do a circular firing squad all the time. Their party, they disagree. There's a wild disagreements in the Republican tent. And yet they don't shoot at each other. And we have a really good way of holding up these purity tests. So if I agree with you on 95,
that's such bullshit. That is such bullshit. They fire at each other all the time. Trump has sent so many people out to pasture. I missed what she said. So many say about the capitulation that you've participated in and where the Democratic Party is right now.
Well, first of all, I would say very pointedly that one of the things I dislike about the Democratic Party is that we do a circular firing squad all the time. Their party.
Yeah, again, always, okay, yeah. Oh, we always do a circuit, like, again, criticizing her for asking a tough question.
They disagree. There's wild disagreements in the Republican tent, and yet they don't shoot at each other. And we have a really good way of holding up these purity tests. So if I agree with you on 95,
that's such bullshit. That is such bullshit. They fire at each other all the time. Trump has sent so many people out to pasture. So many people that he calls rhinos. Liz Cheney can tell you that they have the firing squad as well. It's not a purity test. It's a, are we in this fight and are we being beholden to corporations?
No, honestly, folks, I don't think there's enough of a purity test on the Democratic side because in the Democrats' ranks are people like Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema. I don't know if she's still there, but like corporate Dems who should hardly be considered Democrats to begin with. Anyway,
corporate interests, or were we really the party of the working class? And that's what I think the message is.
Two things I'll say. First of all, if everybody in your coalition agrees with you on everything, your coalition's not big enough. If we don't have disagreements, if we don't have disagreements, then we're talking in the neck. Thank God I sit in a caucus with people. I couldn't win in some of my colleagues' states,
bye-bye, Matt Side guy.
But we have lots of different agreements. But we are united in the fight against Trump. And I'll say number two, which is really important, is that we feel the existential urgency. And even though we don't agree on everything, I'm in the trenches with some of the best fighters I have, from veterans like Mark Kelly and Tammy Duckworth, who have, I know Mark's voted on some people I didn't vote for. So we may not be absolutist, but the fighters that I'm in the trench with right now, the sacrifices that they're
Okay, I'm sorry. I just got this image in my head of a bunch of the Democratic reps and senators like wearing World War I uniforms, like going down into a trench and trying to fight it out. The comedy writes itself, doesn't it, folks? Can we imagine them doing that? Like literal, like actually being fighters and like going to the front, it's comedic. It's comedic.
making for this fight is pretty tremendous. So I have disagreements with a lot of people. Look, I'm one of a handful of people that don't take corporate PAC money. I don't understand my Democratic
What
Party.
about APAC money? You take APAC money, don't you?
A minuscule percentage of my resources come
I
from
read it's like 800,000.
Yeah, but that's a lifetime number of raising tens of millions of dollars. Let me give you the right stat. The majority of my money comes from small dollar contributions. By last report, I think 76% of it came from people that gave $25 or less. So this
my God, Meowsord, that is perfect. Democrats are all chickens fighting in the coop, and Republicans are the chicken nugget factory. Oh, absolutely. It is. It is. It is. So the performative fighting is so pointless. Yeah, right, Doug. Doug, yeah, when Pelosi did that video where she had all that Jenny's ice cream, which is a really expensive brand of ice cream, she like had this like what $80,000, $50,000 fridge, and she pulls open the bottom door, and like there's all this expensive ice cream in there, and she's like, I'm struggling so much during this pandemic, but at least I have my ice cream. But we're struggling with all the rest of the Americans. I'm like, oh, nice $50,000 fridge with your very high end ice cream stacked up in there. Anyway. Okay.
Is about, again, we could pick at each other, or we could do what we need to be doing right now, is joining in a chorus of conviction to condemn it. And again, I'm a child of civil rights activists. You think Malcolm X and Martin Luther King agreed on everything? No. Do you think Fred Shuttle, in fact, Ella Baker?
He needs to get MLK. I'm sorry, that's so gross. He needs to get MLK's voice out of his mouth. And especially Malcolm X, okay? MLK was a socialist who believed in redistributing the wealth of the country to the poor. Cory Booker is a corporate Democrat who is beholden to wealthy interests. Even if he doesn't accept corporate PAC money, he is a member of the establishment. He is nowhere near as radical as MLK or Malcolm X. This is so gross to me, and especially when Black. I shouldn't even say this. When Black representatives and Congress people do this, they try to use the name of these heroic people to, you see what I'm saying, to shoehorn themselves into this legacy. It's gross. It's gross. What Martin Luther King said, that white liberals were the greatest threat to the country, and he's essentially acting as a white liberal. Anyway,
had lots of criticisms about King, but when it came to the fight, they joined together and created a movement that was successful, and that's really what my focus is. And it's the only hold on.
Yeah, notice he's painting. I'm sorry, this is my history when it came out. Notice he's painting Martin Luther King as like the moderate, reasonable one. And then clearly Malcolm X was the extremist, according to Cory Booker, even though both of them were radicals. Literally, MLK was a radical too. He was not some centrist, okay? And both were heroic.
As the only person in the caucus that lives in a low-income Black and brown neighborhood below the poverty line. I still remember when some progressives from the suburbs came down to protest me, and they were literally chased away by my neighbors, because we are in an urgency. Every day I see it. We are in an urgency where real people are getting hurt. When I go up and down in New Jersey, they don't care about the fact that I took 1% of my money from some group. They care about.
Absolutely, J-Mac and Dolly Boy. And I just so gross to me. This is what I mean about how identity politics has been so warped by people like Cory Booker, who now he mentions like, I'm the only one who grew up in a lower class or a low income Black community, and then he's making it seem like all these people around him hate the progressives because when the progressives came to protest him, they got like pushed away by his neighbors. Who do we think is advocating for policies that would be the most economically beneficial to the people who live around him? And again, I'm not trying to speak for those people, but anyway.
What are you doing to restore my health care? What are you doing to fight for my the fact that I can't make rent. And in my caucus right now, we're standing up and fighting for those things. Not capitulating, as you said, to Donald Trump's attempts to deny 22 million Americans health care, to see healthcare costs double for lots of them.
Well, I think the base feels like right now, and I know that you're in the Beltway, but I think the Democratic base feels like there is a disconnect. Like, we hear you, like when you did your 25-hour speech, I was like, go, Corey, I love this. That is amazing. And then there's a photo shoot with you with Benjamin Netanyahu. And I was just like, what in the actual fuck? Like, how can he?
Yeah, Mithra, she did. And I'm not downplaying the fact that he did grow up in that situation. But to use it as a political bludgeon when you are not actually fighting for things that would improve people that come from a similar economic circumstance is gross. Yeah, right, Doug, exactly. Like, it's just gross to use it as a bludgeon. And you're right about that, Doug, about people don't like their neighborhoods getting interrupted. And he's making it seem like it was some sort of populist resistance to left-wing policies.
You do that. It was heartbreaking. I felt betrayed.
Yeah,
and hang on. And that doesn't just happen in an echo chamber. It's important when there are Democrats like you, where the base, we should make each other better. We need to evolve. And I love that you come on here. We need to have these conversations. It's not a purity test. We want credible messengers, because when we are down the middle,
so smart. Oh my God,
and beholden to corporate interests, then we leave this vacuum, and that's how fascism.
Right. Remember, folks, he would be fighting for medical care. Medicare for all if he really did care.
Has flourished. And so for myself and a lot of our listeners, when I saw the picture with Benjamin Netanyahu, I felt like it diminished your 25 hours. That's how it felt to me.
So a few things. One is, I work in the Beltway. I live in the Central Ward in Newark, New Jersey. Streets that a lot of folks tell folks, why would you demean and degrade my communities? I came up.
Oh, see this. Oh my God. I don't know if I can sit through more of this weaponizing. Alyssa, she is a brilliant communicator. The more I need to start watching her podcast, because the more I see of her, the more I fall in love. Right, Malzord, like, I don't know how much more, and I love this. I'm loving this video because she is putting him to task. But like, I can't, and you're right, Luke, like, you're okay. I am so sick of him weaponizing his background in this way. All right. Remember what I was saying yesterday, folks, about how the identity politics stuff bothers me, because it is a distraction a lot of the times from what the politicians are actually doing. Yeah, he came from a low-income background in a Black and brown community. He had to do a lot to get to where he is. So what is he actually doing for people now that he's there? I just don't. It's so she just asked him about having this interview with Benjamin Netanyahu, and what is his response to it? Well, I come from a Black and brown community. Okay, so what does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with you being pro the slaughter of innocent Palestinians? Like, I just don't. Okay.
I keep a little picture here of the first place I represented in 28 years old, which is a Black community that's struggling. And we've transformed our schools, our supermarkets.
Oh my God, shut up.
New parks, urban farms, and the like. And the wonderful thing about those folks that I serve is that none of them question where I stand and how long, for more than a quarter of a century, have I stood with the people in their neighborhoods. Number two, so I may work in the Beltway, but I know where I came from and I know who got me here. And it's the struggling people that our party has done a pretty shitty job for, to be honest with you.
You have done a pretty shitty job for, Cory Booker. You have done a pretty shitty job for. Okay.
I agree.
Okay. Number two, when you say things like Kushner this or whatever, I remember the people who actually, when the Democratic Party was doing things like passing crime bills that put Black people like me, when I was in my 20s and stopped by the police all the time, behind bars, the Democratic Party failed and fueled mass incarceration. And so the people that were there for me 30 years ago doing.
Okay, again, do we remember what the original question was here? She was asking about him meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu. Like, what is he talking about?
Prisoner reentry programs, getting people jobs and housing. I'm sorry. People like Kushner, who was there 30 years ago fighting for those fights, I'm not going to forget that they fought for Black people when other people seem to be gung-ho with, hold on, let me
wait, is this the first CARE Act? What was that act called that you passed?
Well, that was only 2
crime-
years ago, the First Step Act.
What was that? Okay, I've read about that.
Doug, doesn't seem beneficial to policy if your constituents don't push. Sorry, what are you referring to there? Doug? Like, do you mean if the constituents don't push him to do anything about it? Is that what you mean? Just verifying there, Doug. Yeah, Alan, he weaponizes his upbringing, but then sells out that community to corporate interest. Alan, you're perfect. Okay, Okay. Yeah, yeah. Let's watch a little more of this.
It's really good. Yes, it's excellent.
And I'm sorry, I have to work across the aisle, and Charlie Kushner.
Oh, there you go, Doug. There you go. Okay, thank you. That's what I thought you meant, Doug. Yeah, his constituents don't question him. Yeah, that's what he says. That is a problem, right? Maybe because of all the propaganda his campaign puts out and all this focus on his origins, that can be very misleading for people, which is done on purpose, especially as we learned about Alex earlier. You don't have time to do research because you're working every day in a very stressful situation. And all you see is him as a talking head on TV spewing nonsense. Victoria, that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know, Victoria. They are basically the same. Admittedly, there are some Democrats on the left wing that are good. Oh, absolutely, Luke. He doesn't want people to question him. Luke, you're on fire today, by the way, Luke. I haven't been able to respond to all your messages, but you're on fire. Yeah, great, J-Mac. Love that for us.
But for him, it wouldn't have gotten done. So when I go home, people do know people that got out of prison because of the First Step Act, and they knew the bipartisan coalition. Third, I'm sorry. I have real problems with Benjamin Netanyahu. Outrageous things that he's doing. The way you fight for those things is you sit down face to face with somebody and you fight with them. I'm not going to be outside of the room screaming. I want to look him in the eye, like me, Amy Klobuchar, and a whole bunch of other people did, and talk to him about humanitarian aid.
Klobuchar is a corporate robot. Remember when like the mainstream media was like pushing her, thinking she was a she's the next hope because she's like the most corporate moderate Dem amongst them all.
And if people want to criticize me for it, then go ahead. But I'm leading in the Senate on West Bank crises right now from their attempts to annex it or illegal settlements.
I got you, Luke.
I lead the legislation to sanction the people that are doing that. I can stand strong on my principles and still work to end these things. And I don't mind taking criticism, from folks that don't necessarily agree with my tactics. But we on this podcast right now, we share the same aim. Ceasefire now, humanitarian aid now, return the hostages now.
J-Mac, you're Midwest mommy. Right, J-Mac. Right, I'm sure you have a little shrine set up to Klobuchar, don't you, J-Mac? I'm sure. Sure.
Do you think he's a war criminal, Benjamin Netanyahu? Do you think he's a war criminal?
Again, these are questions that a lot of people think are the important litmus tests that are loaded and hot. My urgency is to be an effective leader in bringing an end to this crisis. And I get these questions all the time that to me undermine my urgency. It
undermines his urgency, right? It undermines my urgency when people question me.
The thing that Democrats get so frustrated with, where we are right now, where you see like the Zoran Mamdanis and the Graham Plattners rise up, because they can go on podcasts and you can say, do you think Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal? And they just say, yes. And that's the end of it. It's not all of the rhetoric answering. It's like what happens to Democratic politicians, they go through this like prism, and then we can't ever get like the answer to yes or no conversations like you do with Bernie and others. And that's the frustration for the Democratic base with leadership. Do I think Netanyahu is worse than
Trump? Yes. Do I think that we right now in America should be doing everything
that's so cool, Doug. I would love
to bring peace, not just to that crisis, but to the ones.
I actually do like Elizabeth Warren. She's not perfect and she backstabbed Bernie, but compared to a lot of folks, she's pretty awesome.
That shock me that no one talks about, and I hope, and I don't know if you guys have or not, but crises like Sudan, where there are American weapons literally causing horrific. In fact,
yeah. So what are you doing about that? What are you doing about that, Cory Booker? By the way, folks, we're going to be doing a live stream on what's happening in Sudan soon. I have like several live streams lined up that I just don't end up doing because I get inspired to do something like I did today. I was going to stream today about my pedagogy, and then I didn't. Anyway. But we'll do one on Sudan too. Anyway,
by double, triple, quadruple, it's the biggest humanitarian crisis that we're not talking about as a country. When I was coming up, everybody was talking about Darfur. Now
Meowsord. I stand on my principles, but if I gotta get on my knees, it's a nice little break, right, Meowsord? Mithril, funny because I remember when "Do you condemn Hamas" was the most insistent question of all time, right? Right, yeah, yeah, exactly, Alan. He's doing whataboutism about another genocide that he also isn't doing anything about. Okay? Like, okay. Um Jay Shadow, that is the next thing I'm gonna be doing with my dad. We haven't planned yet when we're gonna start it, but that is the next thing we're gonna do is the oversimplified thing.
The moral silence is outrageous when American weapons are being used in that conflict.
And the same with Israel. I mean, our weapons and even Democratic politicians signed them
right
before they were sent over to kill kids. This is, I really feel like if we get through this fascism, we have to have conversations like this, Senator. I think
yeah,
it's
but you're right. Where you're right is the Democratic Party. Again, as a black guy in America, there are so many things we don't talk about that we need to have an honest conversation about. You're right. I work in a place that corruption has.
Okay, folks, I'm gonna stop it there. I feel like we get the idea here. This is great. I'm just gonna check the reaction. Just want to see if Alyssa. I know Alyssa said she sent some. I'll just send a couple. I just want to see. Did we see this? Did we see this part already? Where she asked if Netanyahu was a war criminal.
I'm sorry. People like Kushner, who was there 30 years ago fighting for those fights, I'm not going to forget that they fought for black people when other people seem to be gung-ho.
Oh, God.
Hold on. Let me
wait, is this the first CARE Act? What was that act called that you passed?
Well, that was only 10 years ago. The first.
Have we seen this part? I don't think we did. I don't. We saw that. Okay. Wow. I don't know. I don't remember it. Okay. Maybe I just got mixed in with all the other stuff. Okay. So this is great though. Do you guys want to keep watching? You know what? Let me just ask in the chat here. I don't want to. Oh my God. Let me ask a question here in chat. Okay. So folks, we will. I also don't worry, Doug. I'll also do Ren. I might do like a Ren video, an oversimplified. It might go back a bit. Let me. I'm going to start a poll here, folks. Continue video. Continue interview. Okay. Continue interview. Yes or no, and we can keep watching it. I just want to make sure whenever we have something this long, I want to make sure that people are still interested in it, especially when it's this insufferable. I mean, I'm enjoying it, but okay. So there we go. Continue interview. Yes or no. Meowsord, continue, but only until Corey reminds us he's black. Meowsord, that would be like a 30-second watch thing. Is indifferent an option that you can just don't answer then, Doug, on the left? Okay, if you're indifferent, then just don't answer. That's a good point, though. I should have put maybe. Okay, looks like mainly yes. Yes, yes, yes. And I know I'm not over on Twitch doing this, but okay, 50. Oh my God, please don't make it 50%. Someone has to break the tie. It is literally at exactly 50%. Say yes. Someone break the tie for me, please. Either put yes or no. Okay, Meowsord's vote is no. It's over on YouTube. I know. Oh, nope. Nope. Okay. Oh, yes. Back to yes. Yes. That's fair, SoCal. Okay. The question, it is so even. Oh my God. Yes, 50%. Okay, guys. Let's do it this way. Tied again. Okay, we'll just say no. All right. If we also have some people over on Twitch who have answered no. Yeah, don't worry. Twitch is run like an autocracy, so they don't get a vote. But okay. So we'll just move on to the next thing though. Thank you, Alyssa. Maybe we'll watch some more of it. Show that hard power. Okay. Okay. Is it stuck? 13 viewers and 14 votes. Well, some people came over from Twitch, I believe. Okay, no. Now it's 53% no. Okay, we'll just say no for now. Okay, but I would like to watch other. I know, right? The vote is rigged. It's rigged. JMac brought in a bunch of illegal immigrants. Meowzord hacked the voting systems with an Argentinian company. A Venezuelan company. Excuse me. Whatever. They're all brown. I don't care what country they came from. Okay, yeah. Let's watch something else. All right. Thank you, Alyssa. Shut up, Alyssa. How dare you? Okay. Yes, it is. My ADHD is kicking in. Okay. Let's watch. Let me find something else here to watch. Though I did think this is very interesting, Alyssa. I really liked it. All right. Okay. Right. Okay. Don't you dare clip that, Tiago. Okay. Me too. Hey, no, guys, I enjoy watching. Here's the reason I asked, folks. I really liked watching that. I have noticed though that if I watch something like that for too long, the viewership starts going down. I think for some people they just get frustrated watching it. That's why I wanted to ask democratically. And since we got 50-50, because now it's back up to 50%, I'm just gonna say we go on to the next thing. But I love watching stuff like that. I don't know. Okay. All right. All right. We got let's see here what else we can watch. Let me see what else we have here on it's over. Oh my god, it's back to being over 50. JMac, how dare you, okay? Okay. Okay, folks, you know what? I uh I okay, I will say though, my blood pressure will go up getting mad at him. I understand, Luke. Let's you know what? Let me find something else. God damn it. Okay, see, look, now I'm indecisive. Let's watch a little bit more of it. Yeah, I know, Doug, I know. No. Let's move on to something else. Okay, I changed my mind. Let's do on something. Okay. I'm gonna go to Discord. I'll find something else to listen to. Okay. All right, let's see here. Reactions. Trump failed. Excellent. Oh, let's watch something from Trump failed. So Trump failed. This is actually Trump failed's video. Let's see what
Salami becomes the new mayor of.
All right, so this is Trump failed. Thank you, Trump failed for. This is actually your channel, Trump failed. Fantastic. Okay. So this is a. Yeah. Okay. I got you, Alyssa. Okay. Oh my God, I'm getting so much. I'm getting so much pushback here. Okay, forgive me, folks. I am gonna go on to this next thing here. Alyssa, what the TikTok I sent? What the TikTok you sent? Okay, so so much for how dare you all? Okay, this is my channel. I'm authoritarian. Okay. By the way, folks, as a reminder, we have if we get six more super chats, I will do a Jester After Dark stream. And if we get oh, okay, Alyssa, which I will watch it. Which TikTok did you send, Alyssa? The we'll watch what Trump. I mean, Trump. Don't worry, we'll watch yours here in a bit. I did want to watch Trump's here. Oh, this one. Okay, I'll watch this real fast just because I cut off Alyssa's other video. And then we'll watch Trump failed's video. Okay, so this is a cancer charity honoring Lee Zeldin. Okay, and we will see what this protester does. So again, folks, if we get thank you guys. Oh, thank you guys. We got 2. That means we only need 3 more. If we get 3 more. Oh, and Tiago sent some too. Thank you, Tiago. Oh my God, we're getting closer, folks. We're getting very close. How much until the late night streams? Okay, so yeah, so now we only need 2 more. Good God. Okay. I am feeling well enough for After Dark, Doug. Thank you for asking, though. I know all these degenerates out here don't care about my health, but okay, I could do an After Dark. So if we get 2 more, folks, we will do an After Dark stream. Thank you, Tiago. How much? Okay, so we're almost there. All right. 2 more or $10. Okay. All right. So let's watch. This is Lee Zeldin, who is Trump's, I believe, secretary of or head of the EPA or something like that. So let us, oh, by the way, technically we can also do a Q&A because we reached that. Oh my gosh, thank you, Luke. Okay, 1 more, folks, and then I'll do the After Dark stream. We can also do a Q&A if you guys want to. Let's watch a few more videos first, though, okay? So let's watch this. Let's see what this protester does to Lee Zeldin.
For just destroying our access to clean air and clean water. All right, this is a cancer charity, and Lee Zeldin is going to be responsible for giving cancer to so many people. As the head of the EPA, his policies are going to use his head.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, Doug.
On his behalf, I'd like to...
I would also like to propose a toast to Lee Zeldin. Isn't it nice? We're here honoring...
Oh, this is great. This is called popcorning, where like one activist stands up first, gets taken out, and then there's another activist waiting to stand up after it's died down so that it isn't all silenced all at once. This is a brilliant method.
What's next? Ghislaine Maxwell for the Women's Empowerment Summit? Bill Cosby for the Consent Summit? He is going to ruin your children's future. Woody Allen for the AIDS Consent Summit. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You guys are such hypocrites. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. It's hilarious to me.
A beautiful cause.
We're hosting a man who knows that climate
That's amazing, Alyssa.
and pretty much all science is a hoax. The pollution and the...
Oh, I love that. Oh my God, they really are abusing these people. You see, he had a Trump hat on. He's like, "All science is a hoax." That's brilliant, and of course, they're being violent towards him. Okay, yeah, they're just beating these people up, basically. Yeah, covering his mouth. I mean, come on, that's like assault. Oh, I see you, Tiago. I see you, Tiago.
We know that coal has nothing to do with cancer, so thank you for opening all the coal
Thank you,
plants
Tiago.
and ruining life on this planet, Lee Zeldin. You're a true patriot.
Amazing.
Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? I understand, but who are you?
Can't take my camera. I'm calm.
Oh my God. This is fascism. Ah, amazing. Okay. Brutal, though. Absolutely brutal. Those people are heroes. Thank you for sending that, Alyssa. Really? In the full version, in the version, there's a lady that is there with her husband, leaves the event and hangs out outside. Really? Yeah, that was so gross, Alyssa, how all those lunatics were like cheering for it. Like a Nazi rally. Okay. Remember that video I showed all of you of that Nazi rally that was held in Madison Square Garden, and like the whole audience was cheering as the brown shirts were beating up someone on the stage? Yeah. Real gross, real scary. Okay. All right. So this is Trump failed's video. By the way, Tiago, what do you mean by work more? What does that mean? What do you mean work more? Okay. All right. Let's watch this. This is from Trump Failed. We'll see what it's about. So Trump Failed says that they did a debunked / react to Bobby Sauce claims of Zoran Mamdani's grocery store plan. Are you here, Trump Failed? Because we're watching your video, just making sure you're here. Okay, we'll see what it looks like here for Trump Failed.
New York City and gets his way. And he actually puts city-run grocery stores in New York City. What would that look like? Let's do something that your average Zogbag salami voter didn't do. Think about it. Unless the city of New York is going to be building new spaces for these grocery stores, they're going to have to rent existing spaces. Commercial leases traditionally are for a pretty long period of time, so if they go and sign these leases, it'll have to be for years perhaps, committing the city to large amounts of rent for a long term. So those stores would have to work, or the city, aka the taxpayers, going to lose a lot of money.
Okay, well, there's plenty of space to rent, so that shouldn't be a problem in this hypothetical you got going on. And since you're concerned about taxpayer dollars, let's do some math. The average taxpayer is forking up about $24,000 a year in New York.
Oh, this is good.
Times that to 8.2.
I think that's Trump Failed's voice in the background. Is Trump Failed even here now? We are watching his video. Oh well, it's okay if he's not. I hope he is. But that's actually Trump Failed's voice. I think either that or an AI.
Million people, and you get a massive $198 billion in tax revenue a year. So how much are these grocery stores going to cost? Based on the average of NYC, it's about $75,000 a month to operate a grocery store.
Yeah.
Times that by 5 stores, $375,000 a month. Times 12 months is $4.5 million a year. Guess how much this comes out to from that $198 billion? 0.00044%. That's what you're bitching about. Also, the microaggressions? Really? In your description, it says you're a, quote, Guido.
Folks, I will say, I am going to be doing the late night stream. We have gotten enough for it, so thank you very much for that, okay? He isn't here right now. Oh, I'd rather he be here for when we watch it. That's fair. So let's, God, I know I'm not doing great today streaming, folks, because I keep cutting things off, but I would like Trump Failed to be here so we could ask him questions. We'll wait. All right. Well, let me just see something real fast. How long have we been going, folks? I think it's been like 2.5 hours. I'm getting tired, probably because I'm still kind of ill. Yeah. All right. So, folks, how about this? I started at 2:30-ish. Okay, see ya, Louise. Okay. So let's do this. I'm going to get off now, rest a bit. We are going to do the late night stream later. Yeah, I need a nap before my late night stream. Okay. So I'm going to people off of Twitch. My apologies if I cut everyone off Twitch. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to do my last little bit here, folks. Thank you for watching. Don't forget about Alex and what Alex is going through. Okay, there's a lot of Alexes out there. Let me put up my face now. Okay, so you all know what I'm about to say. Okay, you all know what I'm about to say. First of all, free Palestine. Free Palestine. Second of all, never stop resisting. The easiest way to resist is to think for yourselves. The easiest way to resist is to think for yourselves, and that includes when you watch me. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. See what other people are saying. Don't get caught in an information silo, because the easiest way to resist is to think for yourselves. Thirdly, here, we are living in a fascist moment in this country, not only in this country, but in countries around the world. Fascism thrives in an environment where people have lost faith in their democratic institutions, so they turn to more radical means to fix them. Guys, sorry, my exhaustion's like catching up with me super quickly. We need major reforms in this country and around the world. You cannot stand in the center. If you stand in the center, the fascists will walk all over you like you're a slug on the ground. You must resist. Do not let the fascists walk all over you. Lastly, on the wall behind me is a sword. The name of that sword is Chainbreaker. Chainbreaker has been passed down on my family for many generations. It is thought to have been responsible for the death of 7 slave owners. Why do I have it back there? I have it back there to remind everyone that our ancestors have made some major sacrifices for some of the things we have today. And some of those sacrifices and the things they achieved are being rolled back. We cannot let them be rolled back. Don't let our ancestors' sacrifices go to waste, folks. Please, please, please. Don't let them go to waste. And always, always, always fight for a better future. And on that note, folks, I will be back on between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. for Jester After Dark over on Twitch. Thank you, everyone who watched. Thank you, everyone who donated. You all have a great rest of your day, morning, noon, night, wherever it may be. Okay. I'll see you all.